Suche Deckung.
After reclaiming Milan and compelling Savoy to withdraw from the coalition against us, we now have operational freedom to resume our offensive against the Prussians. The enemy has retreated from their positions in Moravia and regrouped in Silesia, sustaining losses during their withdrawal. This presents a strategic window. Now is the ideal moment to lay siege to Silesia and reclaim it.
Zu werden. Euer Majestät, euer Begehr, verstecke mich.
Die Waffen! Wie Ratten im Käfig!
Our generals are eager to capitalize on our numerical superiority and have issued orders to launch the assault without delay. Morale is high following our recent victories in Italy, and among the ranks there's a growing belief. This could mark our first decisive victory against the Prussians in this war.
Este edificio ha caído en manos enemigas. Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar.
The Prussians will not shy away from battle. They are advancing directly toward our lines. On the right flank, heavy fighting is expected in the narrow streets of the city, where urban combat will test the discipline and resolve of our infantry. Meanwhile, the left flank opens onto a wide plain, ideal terrain for cavalry and flanking maneuvers. It is likely the Prussians will attempt to exploit this ground to outmaneuver us. Our commanders must remain vigilant and flexible. The coming battle will be a true test of tactical skill and coordination.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
The enemy is exerting significant pressure on our left flank. They have unexpectedly abandoned their positions within the city and redirected their forces toward the open plain, where they are now breaking through several of our battalions with alarming force. The situation on the right remains unclear. Fighting continues street by street, and communication is limited. It is difficult to assess the effectiveness of our defensive lines there, but resistance is holding for now. The full scale of the Prussian maneuver is still unfolding. We must respond swiftly to stabilize the front.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
Orders have been issued. Reserves are to advance immediately on the right flank. The cavalry has already been deployed in rapid response to slow the Prussian advance across the plain. But it will not be enough to halt the momentum alone. Fresh battalions are now being committed to the fight, with the objective of pushing the enemy back into the city streets and re-establishing control of the urban sector. Time is critical. The success of this counteraction will determine whether we can stabilize the front or risk full collapse on the left.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
The enemy is now advancing up the hill where our general has positioned one of our key artillery batteries. This high ground is vital. It's lost with several connections between our two flanks, effectively isolating our forces and exposing both sides to envelop it. The battery must be held at all costs. Reinforcements are being redirected to support the hill's defense, but the Prussian push is relentless. Should they take this position, the integrity of our entire line could collapse. The next moments will be decisive.
Pronto disfrutaréis de una gloriosa victoria, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
Disaster on the left. The Prussians have shattered our positions in the open plain. All regiments stationed there are in full retreat, abandoning the field in disarray. Our cavalry could not contain the advance, and now the momentum is fully in enemy hands. Every remaining reserve battalion has been committed to the front in a desperate attempt to stabilize the situation. Yet even now, the superiority of the Prussian soldiers is unmistakable. Their discipline, coordination, and firepower continue to dominate the engagement. The fate of the hill in our central line now stands as the final barrier between order and collapse.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar. Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar.
Our forces have held firm on the central hill. The Prussian assault was repelled with heavy losses. And on the right flank, our counterattack has driven them back. For the first time in this battle, the initiative is beginning to shift. However, the left remains in crisis. To prevent a total collapse, the remaining regiments of the right have been ordered to maneuver across the high ground and strike the enemy from flank. Among them rides a cuirassier squadron, armored and disciplined, prepared to deliver a decisive blow. This bold flanking maneuver could turn the tide. If successful, it may shatter the Prussian grip on our left and re-establish a defense. All depends on the timing and execution.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
The Prussians are determined to claim victory, refusing to yield the field. They have revealed their final card, the full mobilization of their remaining cavalry reserves on the left. In a thunderous charge, their horsemen now descend upon our exhausted lines. Men who have fought through city streets, held the hill, and flanked the enemy. But they are weary, scattered, and bloody. The Prussians aim to break us here and now, to crush our momentum and seal the battle with a final, devastating.
Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar.
If the line holds, victory may yet be within reach. If it breaks, the entire army may be undone.
Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar. hombres huyen, señor.
Siegreich und stolz.
Victory at last. Our eagles have met the Prussians in battle and emerged triumphant. Silesia is once again under our control. However, we must not grow complacent. A large portion of our forces remains deployed in Italy, and we must prepare for the possibility of a swift Prussian counteroffensive. The campaign is far from over.
Kämpft für euer Leben! Vorwärts für Krone und Vaterland! Bereit zum Kampf! Alle Mann an Deck! Alle Mann an
Prussia has responded with alarming speed. Their forces have advanced once more into Moravia, and the road to Vienna now lies exposed. In light of this renewed threat, we are left with no choice but to withdraw from Silesia again and reposition our armies to confront the enemy head-on. The defense of the capital must take precedence.
Meine Augen gehören euch. Halte Wache.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
Prussians are advancing along the entire front with their usual impressive discipline. Once again, their formations are tight. Our troops may not match the elite training of Prussian infantry, but this time we hold key advantages and superior numbers and an enemy lacking both artillery and meaningful cavalry support. Our forces are positioned in strong...
Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar.
But the plan does not end the defense. The left flank, still relatively fresh, has received equal against the Prussian right. The objective is to disrupt their cohesion, strike before they fully deploy, and create chaos in their lines. The battle is only beginning. The opening moves are now in motion. They may well decide the course of this clash.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
Here they come. The Prussians are launching their main push on our right flank. Musket volleys echo across the entire line. Thick smoke, thunder, and fire. The engagement is now fully underway. But all eyes are on the right. If we fail to hold them here, our position across the field will unravel. The rest of our regiments, already under pressure, will be forced to retreat as the ground behind us becomes impossible to defend.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Hemos tomado un edificio, señor.
Prussians have executed a coordinated assault, classic combined tactics. While several of their battalions maintain steady volleys to pin our line with musket fire, others advance rapidly into close quarters, attempting to break through by sheer force at our right flank. Yet, against expectations, our battalions are holding firm. Despite the pressure, the men remain steady in formation, returning fire with discipline and refusing to yield ground. Their resolve in the face of the Prussian charge is becoming the anchor of our defense. What was meant to be a decisive blow may now become a costly failure for the enemy. If our line continues to hold,
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
Achtung, feindliche Fleckner!
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
We have halted the Prussian advance. For now, their momentum has been broken, but they are far from defeated. Their infantry continues to fire with brutal precision, and our ranks are thinning under the relentless violence. However, our numerical superiority is beginning to weigh heavily on the engagement. With each exchange, we gain ground, not by brilliance, but by endurance and sheer weight of numbers. Crucially, the enemy has no cavalry remaining. This has opened an opportunity. Our cavalry squadrons are now being repositioned to strike, if launched at the right moment. They could break through the enemy's exposed sections and roll up their line. The window is narrow, but decisive action now could turn the tide.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Nuestros hombres Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar.
Achtung! Feindliche Flänkler!
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Señor, señor, atacan a nuestro general. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor.
Another victory has been secured against the Prussians, though both engagements were fought against numerically inferior forces, and in this latest battle, the enemy fielded almost no cavalry. These successive triumphs have shifted the momentum. We now find ourselves in a favorable position to open diplomatic channels and negotiate from a stance of strength. Nevertheless, the threat remains grave. Intelligence reports confirm that the Prussians still possess 2 full-strength armies stationed in Berlin, prepared to launch an air offensive. Meanwhile, on the southern front, a new chapter unfolds. The battle to reclaim the Kingdom of Naples from Bourbon control has begun. The Italian theater, though quieter in recent weeks, now demands our full attention once again.
Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Señor. Nuestros hombres huyen, señor. Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar. Los hombres están fatigados, señor. Necesitan descansar. Señor, señor, atacan a nuestro general.
Stärke und Ehre. Alles bereit machen.
Peace at last, to bring an end to the war. Silesia has been ceded to the Prussians as part of the negotiated terms. However, we retained control of all other territories held before the conflict, with the exception of Flanders, which has been exchanged to the Bourbons in return for Naples, a trade that strengthens our position in the Italian peninsula. Most importantly, our prestige remains undiminished. The leadership of the German state stays firmly under our influence, secured under the rule of our new queen. Despite the cost, the dynasty endures, and the realm stands united.
Sir, eure Befehle? Glorreicher Sieg!